Hi there, my name is Doug Winnie, and I'm going to give you a quick preview of Adobe Edge, which is going to be available soon on Adobe Labs for you to play with to create animations using web standards like HTML, HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. Edge provides two specific workflows. One, you can create a new composition from scratch, or you can animate existing CSS-based layouts directly in Edge. When you create a new composition, you have the ability of changing your different stage properties like width and height, background color, also common properties like overflow. Now this is just a div, so everything we're working with is web standards right from the beginning. So you're natively working with HTML and JavaScript. With this, I can also import specific graphics and then place them on my stage. Now, if I wanted to animate this, it's really easy to create an animation in Edge. Simply move your playhead to where you want the animation to take place, and then directly make this change on the stage. You'll see that properties are then created as transitions down here on the timeline, and you can also make property changes using our flexible properties panel or directly on the timeline itself. In addition to working with common bitmap graphics, you can also work with SVG. So let me go ahead and import an SVG graphic here. And you'll see that now I can then work with this scalable vector graphic directly within my animation. I'm going to move my butterfly right here, and then let me scale him down a little bit to make him a little bit more size appropriate for the composition. I'm going to position him here. Now I wanted this butterfly to animate, so let's have him flap its wings. So I'm going to move my playhead out a little bit. I'm going to use a common animation trick and scale the width of it down a little bit so he flaps his wings closed. Now the timeline is very flexible, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this particular transition and then paste an inverted version of it. So now it creates an animation that's an inversion of that original transition that I created. In addition, I'm going to go ahead and copy both of these and then go ahead and paste them a few times onto my timeline. Now, unfortunately, this looks a little bit like the paste that I did is a little outside of the original animation. We make it really easy to make iterative changes to your animation through direct changes on the timeline. So now I've got the butterfly flapping its wings as the image in the background is panning around. Now, in addition, we have some advanced gestures to create some specific animation types. So we have something called the mark, which is a secondary playhead. When you create a mark, you're able to create a specific region inside of your timeline that you can then create a unique animation from a specific start point to an end point. So in this case, I might want to have the butterfly start moving around the screen, so I can create this pretty easily using the mark and the playhead. So as you can see, I'm moving the butterfly around a little bit. I'm going to move this back down to the end, and then move the mark a little bit closer to make a shorter duration here for where he's going to end up. In addition, I can take all these transitions here, and I can give them an easing as well. I can start animating it on the screen, and then also preview this directly in a browser. Now, one of the great things about Edge is that the way that we work is everything is based in JavaScript. Specifically, we're working with JSON or JavaScript object notation. So everything you build in Edge is additive. This is a great benefit for people that work with others that are doing CSS-based layouts. So let me go ahead and open up an existing layout that was created using CSS. When I open this, you'll see that our stage here is rendering the HTML page. That's because we're using WebKit as our design service in Edge. You'll also see that the DOM of our HTML is shown here in our Elements panel. Now there are a few areas here that I want to focus on. I want to create a pre-roll animation that's going to have the different sections of this fade in. Now when the CSS was created, it was designed with this as the natural form page of the HTML. So I want the animation to end at this point. To make that easy, we allow you to move that position of where the CSS is created the layout later in time. And then, through selection directly here on the Elements panel, I can start making some property changes, create transitions, and then work directly on the timeline to create a nice, smooth animation that will be a pre-roll animation for our website. And again, everything that we're working in using in Edge is additive using JavaScript objects. So the underlying HTML and CSS code is never touched, which allows for designers that are working as animators in Edge to collaborate seamlessly with web producers or web designers that are working in HTML and CSS. For more information about Adobe Edge, please visit Adobe Labs, where you can get notifications of when Adobe Edge is available for you to download and play with. Thanks for watching.